Yeah. Hello. We are from Group 5 and we are going to talk about improvement of teacher competencies in the industrial resolution era 4.0. Next, please. This is our group member. We have me, Fana Zawardi, and Pandu, Haidar, and also Khairunisa Maninda Rafi. Next, please. Okay, first of all, what is 4.0 industry? The fourth industrial revolution, or you could call it as 4.0, is a manufacturing technology that combines automation and data interchange. Revolution 4.0 is a period in which current technology, such as fiber optics and integrated network systems, is used in all aspects of the economy from production to consumption. As a result of Industry 3.0, the Industrial Revolution 4.0 will expand the availability of digital technologies. The combination of digital, biological, and physical advances will be a major driver of the fourth industrial revolution. The Internet of Things is another term for the fourth industrial revolution, which is beginning to impact the virtual world as well as human, machine, and data communication. Next, please. So, in Indonesia, is also have some that already included in Industry 4.0, such as textiles, automotive, electronics, chemicals, and food and beverages are just a few of the areas in which Industry 4.0 is being used in Indonesia. By expanding export operations, the Industrial Revolution initiative aims to propel Indonesia's economy into the top 10 in the world by 2030. The Ministry of Industry in Indonesia aggressively encourages the development of Industry 4.0 according to the Cominfo. The EKM e-smart strategy, allowing business actors to be allowed to offer items on digital platforms, is an example of the Industrial Revolution 4.0 in action. The growth of e-commerce in Indonesia has signaled the technological change of the retail business. The presence of a fifth generation network or 5G network is one of the things that the Indonesian government must prepare for in order to welcome Industry 4.0. Next, please. And the next slide will be presented by my friends.
Okay, next one is about qualities of teacher in era 4.0. Based on Kustalani in the learning homepage of Ministry of Education Culture mention 5 competency that must be possessed by teacher in the era of Industrial Revolution 4.0. First, educational competences and internet-based learning competences as a basic skill. Second, competencies in technological commercialization, a teacher must have competencies that will bring students to have entrepreneurship with technology for the work of students' innovations. Third, competencies in globalization. Teachers do not stutter across cultures and are able to solve educational problems. Fourth, competences in the future strategies. The teacher has the competence to predict precisely what will happen in the future and its strategies by means of joint lecture, joint research, joint research resources, staff mobility, and rotation. And the last one is competencies of counselor. The teacher has the competence to understand that in the future the problem of student is not only difficult to understand teaching material, but also related to psychological problem due to the times. Next one is about effort to improve teacher competencies in the Industrial Revolution era 4.0 can be done by first, teacher recruitment system are carried out by selective and standardized pattern according to the needs of technological development. Two, the pattern of increasing teacher competency is bottom-up so that all problems and obstacles faced by teachers in the region can be accommodated and reviewed together. 3. Continuous improvement of the teaching profession through the continuing professional improvement program. The aim is to reduce the distance between the knowledge, skills, social competencies, and personality that they have now and what they claim to be in the future in relation to their profession. 4. Lesson study to improve teacher competencies. Lesson study is a model of teacher professional development through collaborative and continuous learning assessment based on the principle of collegiality and mutual learning of build learning community. And the last one is A-learning. Efforts to improve teacher competencies will be easier with the support of literacy. The teacher can get information from the internet, then is it processed and analyzed so that new information is created. The utilization of literacy can add insight to the teacher in the era of Industrial Revolution 4.0. Next is about the challenge will be explained with Haider.
Okay, the challenge being teacher in Industry 4.0. Next, in Law Number 14 of 2005 concerning teachers and lecturers, it is stated that teachers are professional education with the main task of educating, teaching, grading, directing, training, assessing, and evaluating students in the formal education path. The vocation of teaching is one of that will never be supplanted by exceptional technology advancement. Although because to the sophistication of all digital technology, anyone can now get knowledge from a variety of sources. However, a teacher is still required because this noble profession not only imparts knowledge but also instills life ideas and models that cannot be taught from any other sources of information. Teachers must be able to prepare, improve their abilities, and continue to upgrade themselves as we enter the era of the Industrial Revolution 4.0. Teachers must be able to produce higher quality human resources and must be able to prepare, improve their ability, and continue to upgrade themselves. Okay, next. Their teachers' challenges in the formulate era. The challenge of teacher in the millennial era are very heavy compared to the previous era. Their teachers are required to understand technology and always be a creative and innovative person. The most important factor in the teaching profession is scientific and academic qualification, moral attitudes, and behaviors are no longer significant. Teachers can provide understanding to students through concrete policies by utilizing technology in learning, such as e-learning or using social media. A good persuasive approach is more prioritized than carrying out policies that appear authoritarian or force the will. Okay, next. Teacher strategies in facing this disruptive era. Some strategies that teachers do to improve the quality of education are first, changing mindset, even though it is difficult and turbulent. Two, making literacy conscious movement. And three, conducting training movement of teachers, employees, and technology-based students. Four, innovating learning. And five, igniting to create digital-based simple technology in school. All that is needed is good time management and cost school management, commitment of all parties, habituation of application in class, and collaboration with each other, so that teachers must prepare is to have the 21st century character. The character ref to in 21st century competence consists of characters that is moral, honest, trustworthy, polite, and performs character hard work, responsibility, discipline, persistence. The role of a teacher is to equip students to be a generation that is strong and of characters. This hard approach is not hindered by time, place, or anything that is what makes the teachers will never be replaced by machine or others artificial intelligence. Next, teachers understanding and update in IT. English teachers in the 21st century, teachers must have a policies to strengthen English in the instruction, and they must be able to justify English instruction for the correct reason, one of which is to appear more friendly and intelligent. As a result, teachers must be adept at leveraging this justification to motivate children to learn English. Teachers professionalism in which teachers must be competent to comprehend, and apply information and communication technology or and students' motivation in studying English so that it becomes a source of pride for pupils. Teachers must content that is appropriate for the 21st century, for which is necessary to map how many teachers are IT savvy. Teachers must be aware of how to incorporate digital content into their lessons, and bandwidth is required if digital content is to be developed. And final, school must have a help desk to help desk so that students know who to contact in the event of a problem. Okay, next, Pandu.
Teacher 4.0 example. Teachers must have a strategy, which strategy will lead them to adapt or die. Teachers and other educational professionals should make any necessary adjustment as quickly as possible. Given the rapid and fundamental disruption that occurs, the ability to adapt to change, or the risk of being left behind and dying, is the key to surviving in this continuously changing world. This can be preceded by a general awareness of the changing world among all relevant stakeholders, including the government as the provider of education, curriculum developers, educators, and even parents. They must adopt a fresh approach to learning and education. Next. According to Trilling and Fadel on 2009, uh, 21st century learning focus on the creation of a digital lifestyle based on ICT, learning ability and creativity, and life skills development. More precisely, the teacher's learning shall be focused on the development of four basic skills, such as critical thinking and problem solving, communication, teamwork, and the ability to create new things or creativity. Next. Okay, these are the example of application of learning that must be done by teachers. The first one is students student center. The development of learning in class should use a student centered learning approach, while the teacher has more roles as a learning facilitator. Students are placed as learning subjects who actively develop their interests and potential. Uh, for example, for example, is some learning models such as inquiry learning, project-based learning, scientific approach, or problem-based learning are among the learning models that teachers can use in the context of implementing student-centered learning. The second one is contextual learning. Learning materials needs to be linked to students' daily lives. The teacher develop learning methods that enable students to connect with the real world. Learning should be direct at formulating existing problems rather than just answering problems. For example, problem-based learning and contextual learning are among the approaches that can be used in this case. Next. The third one is community integrated learning. Similar to contextual learning, the teacher must try to prepare students to be responsible citizens. Therefore, learning should be able to facilitate students to be involved in their social environment. In this, in the in this context, I mean, for example, holding community service activities, where students can learn to take roles and perform certain activities in a social environment and can do specialist work. Learning is direct to train analytical thinking or decision making rather than mechanistic thinking or routine activity. The fourth one is collaborative learning. Students must be taught to be able to collaborate with others, collaborate with people who different their cultural setting and values. In exploring information and building meaning, students need to be encouraged to be able to collaborate with friends in their classroom. Um, in this context, teacher must apply the principle of cooperative learning more during the learning process. And the last one is technology-based learning. As the characteristic of what is ER 4.0 learning that is synonymous with the Internet of Things, the Internet of People, iCloud, big data, connectivity, and digitalization. It is highly important for teachers now to integrate their learning and teaching activities with the latest information technology development. For example, uh, need combine offline learning mode with online, blended learning or hybrid learning. They can make use of several online learning applications such as Google Classroom, Ruang Guru, Kuiper, Zenius, and other similar applications to enhance students' learning. They can also plan to make use of social media platforms such as YouTube, Instagram, Line, and many others as one of learning media. And in this context, teachers also need to maximize the use of sophisticated devices such as smartphones in the classroom for learning. In short, the integration of learning with the internet and or network will greatly affect the effectiveness and acceleration of the achievement of learning outcomes in this digital era. Okay, next. Okay, thank you very much. Maybe that is all from us. Uh,
Uh, I think that's it from group 5. If there is something wrong with our presentation, please forgive us. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.